All right, so I thank you so much, Sonia, for guiding us last time. I had a lot going on, and so I wasn't able to facilitate last meeting. So Sonia took over for us and facilitated the last meeting. So thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it. And I see that we did process 21 last time.
Yes.
Okay. And so I wanted to know who all participated and how did it go with working with process 21 over the last couple of weeks, if anybody has any insight on that.
I didn't really work with it. I don't consider myself as having any health issues or, yeah.
Okay.
It's for being further down on the scale than I normally am.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Did anyone else have any thoughts or insights or experiences with working process 21 over the last couple of weeks? No? Okay, well, hopefully this will be welcomed. I actually, the first time we went through this book, I actually put the meditation to music and I did it for myself for the practice. And so I thought that instead of doing our normal tapping meditation this time, that I would play that for you guys in honor of the fact that we did process 21 last time. How does everyone feel about that? Are you okay with listening to that versus doing our regular tapping meditation this time?
Sure.
Okay, so if we don't have any other discussion about process 21, I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and go into the meditation for it and then move forward with our chapter and process for the evening. So I'm going to go ahead and just, with this one, obviously there's no tapping, there's nothing you need to do. So if you just want to close your eyes and listen, I'm going to go ahead and play this for you now, okay? It is natural for my body to be well. Even if I don't know what to do in order to get better, my body does. I have trillions of cells with individual consciousness, and they know how to achieve their individual balance. I don't need to understand the cause of my discomfort. I don't need to explain how it is that I am experiencing my discomfort. I have only to gently, eventually, release this discomfort. It doesn't matter that it got started because it is reversing its course right now. Well-being is natural to me. My body knows what to do. When this discomfort began, I did not know what I know now. I now know that I do have trillions of cells, each with individual consciousness, and they know how to achieve their individual balance. If I had known what I know now, this couldn't have gotten started. And there is no hurry about any of this. My inner being is intricately aware of my physical body. And my cells are asking for what they need in order to thrive. And my source energy is answering those requests. I'm in very good hands. I will relax now and allow communication between my body and my source. My only work is to relax and breathe. I can do that. I can do that easily. Any pain that I notice is an indicator that my source is responding to my cellular request for energy. This sensation is a wonderful indicator that help is on the way. I will relax into this sensation of pain because I know that it is indicating improvement. All is well. It is natural for my body to be well. I release any resistance to this knowing any discomfort is nothing more than my awareness of resistance. I have faith in this. I believe in it. It is natural to be absolutely well. It is time for me to relax and breathe. Relax and breathe. It is natural for my body to be well. My only work is to relax and breathe. My source is responding to my cellular request for energy. It is natural for my body to be well. Okay. So when we went through this the first time last year, I created that recording. It's one of my favorite pieces of music. And it was actually very cool because I decided, I don't know, for those of you that don't know, I'm a massage therapist and I do mobile massage services. And so I got so excited about it that for the next few weeks, I actually played that in the beginning of each session with each new client. And I received a lot of wonderful feedback from that. And it was a really beautiful experience to be able to share that information in such a way and to help people relax into their massage session by listening to those words and hearing that recording before, as we were beginning the session and tuning into the body to figure out what to do. I did change verbiage a little bit instead of, pain or disease. I can't remember the exact word that's used. Normally I use the word discomfort, and when you think about that, as we were listening to this, I was thinking about that in a sense that discomfort can be many different things, right? It can be physical discomfort, it can be emotional discomfort. And so I think that that can be highly valuable to use whenever you're feeling like that you need to do that. And there is power in actually your own voice, hearing your own voice doing that. And so I would recommend, if you wanted to consider taking that to a step for yourself, to be utilizing, to maybe record it in your own voice and then lay and listen to it as a meditation for yourself as well. So that would be my suggestion with that. So with that, I think we are ready to go ahead and pull for what process we are going to be reading tonight. So everybody go ahead and set the intention that whatever process we pull is going to be the process for our best and highest good for this evening and for this next couple of weeks. All right. And it looks like we are going to be reading process 2 this week. So, Andy, I think I'm on top of it. The Magical Creation Box. So tonight we're going to be reading chapter 21, and then we will be reading through process 2.
Does that give away what the last one is? If someone's counting or whatever? Because isn't there only one left?
There is only one left. It does give away the last one.
2 weeks from today?
Yeah.
Don't tell me if you know.
I do know. I won't tell you.
It's for Sonia as well. Don't tell me.
You think you're going to remember which one we have not done yet?
I think so. I don't think I've been here for a whole 22 things yet.
You kind of came in the middle of this one? Was
Yeah,
it?
I mean, how long does it take to get through all of them? Because the first time I came was like October, I think.
You probably came through most of it. I mean, if you think about it, there's 22 chapters and we do it every other week. So 44, it takes almost a year. a little bit shy of a year to go through the whole book. Yeah, in the study group.
Yeah, so I haven't been through the whole cycle of now.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. I'm trying to see, Donna, you will not be reading tonight, correct? Oh, there's chat. Maybe I missed it already.
She just said, yeah.
Yes, okay. So let me cross you off. Is there anyone else that feels like they will not be participating in reading tonight, or are we all good?
I would rather not. This is Elaine. I'd rather not read tonight.
Okay.
Thank you.
My name is Yelena, and I also won't be able to participate fully as I have another meeting at 7:30, so I would log out earlier. Sorry for that.
Okay, that's okay.
Thank you so much for understanding.
Yeah. Okay, well, hopefully I've got the list correct. And if for some reason you decide not to read, just let me know and I can skip you. It's not a problem. But if we don't have any other discussion or thoughts, we can go ahead and go into reading chapter 21.
There was one more comment.
Okay.
Nani is not able to read. Maninder.
Okay. Thank you. All right, and let's see. I'm not seeing, it looks like Ray might have signed off. All right, well, this chapter is pretty short and sweet, but I want to know your thoughts. How do you guys feel about this chapter?
I'm laughing. That was so funny. But this is a good chapter, and I have a funny story of how this works really, really well. Because this morning I went through some resistance where my phone was cut off. It was like a big bill, and I was paying it down, and then it was cut off this morning, and I was angry about it. And then I saw a neighbor who I don't care for, all these duplicates of the worse it gets. And then I said, nope. Go on a rampage to Kara. And I stopped in my tracks for 3 minutes and I just appreciated my everything. I'm like, oh my God, isn't it great that I have this, that I have that? And sure enough, I looked at my phone and T-Mobile was, you know, they were open. Before that, they were closed. And I know it was only because I changed my energy. Right after that, my aunt sent me the money. This is at like 6:30 in the morning, you know. So I know it's only because I was like, stop it. You're getting mad, you're angry, you're looking at what is, cut it out. And I just was like, no, everything's great. I love T-Mobile. I love my home. Isn't it great? The trees are green. People are beautiful. Everything's wonderful. And then now my phone is restored. I have a great payment coming up. I took off the internet, so I won't even be paying half of that anymore. And so it does work. I think, you know, just find a dominating thought and just focus on it. Like feeling better, you will get a better feeling result. So this is a good reminder. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. I know I've been, as I kind of shared earlier, but I've been, the last couple of months have been very heavy and I've been feeling very bombarded. And this is absolutely the reminder I need, because I am looking out there at everything and I'm deciding and I'm judging and I'm taking it all in, and I'm allowing it to become a cycle that is, you know. And how long have I been facilitating this book study? 2 years, and it's my 3rd time going through it. And yet I'm still feeling like, you know, it's time to get back to foundation, because I've obviously, you know, forgotten. So, yeah, I think this is a great chapter.
So they said 17 seconds, and now if you're listening to Abraham regularly, they're pushing the limit. We're now down to 16 seconds.
Ooh.
and that's just, it's like 16.2 seconds or something like that. And that's just because the overall sensation that the law of attraction was when it first got the secret and like the term law of attraction, once it became popular, it's really taken on a life of its own. And there's just so many people who are aware right now, and we are moving the energy that much faster, because this is the age of awareness, right? The age of awakening. And there are so many of us who are aware, who are paying attention now, that the energy is moving that much faster. And so we don't have 17 seconds anymore. You have 16 seconds. You have 16 seconds to change your vibration if you feel it going the wrong direction. And by wrong direction, not being judgmental, but the more negative trend, if we will. And so 16 seconds you have to turn it around. And so I recommend, the way that I handle it is I use a trigger word or a trigger phrase. And for me, that's the thing that I use to flip it around. So if I hear myself going on a negative trend, I will immediately say, wait. I love my life. And as soon as I say that, I turn it around and I start saying, okay, what makes me love my life? I love this, I love this, I love this, I love this. Because it is so important to remember, whatever is happening in the moment, it's not that big a deal. And whatever you're saying or thinking in the moment, you can change it right now, and it's okay. And it's only right now, it's only a moment. And all it means is you can change where you're focused and feel better right now. That's all. You've got time.
Sonia, when you said we only have 16 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
are you saying only? Like there's only 16 seconds now. I'm like creating even quicker. I don't know if I'm thinking if I'm in like the good high flying place, like it's like, oh, now I'm just getting everything even quicker, or I'm to the next thing even faster. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's
mean,
the
like,
glass half full.
Well, I guess he was also, I'm also wondering where did the 16-second come from?
So Abraham has said, like as we just read in the text, they've always said that we have 17 seconds before the momentum of whatever. If you can take a thought and you can keep your mind on that thought,
Right,
and
right.
that frequency for
that
17
part.
seconds. So the idea was that then the momentum has built up, and so it now attracts its own. The idea now is that instead of 17 seconds, you now have 16 seconds before the thought will attract something that is like unto itself.
Yeah.
And that's just because, like I was saying, the energy is moving that much faster now.
Oh, so that is that something that she's saying now?
Yes.
That
yes.
it has moved to 16 seconds instead
Yep.
of 17. Okay, so that's the part I missed. Sorry.
No problem.
That's really good. I like that catchphrase. I'm gonna steal it. I might slightly modify it, but yeah. I do it already, but I think that it needs to be more like, because you put it like on autopilot, right? You catch yourself and you boom, stop. I
Right.
think I catch myself, but I don't have like, I'm gonna call it a catchphrase, something that's powerful. It's like, okay, no, we're consciously stopping this thought pattern and we're consciously going to focus on something else.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the energy is speeding up. And so, we're moving through things a lot quicker. And we're processing through our world a lot quicker too. And it is very important to remember that whatever's coming about is just the culmination of what's already happened. And that doesn't mean that's what has to continue to happen. And then that's where that shift comes in, right?
Mhm.
Okay, any other thoughts on this chapter before we move into the process?
I just want to say I think it's a good reminder to ask for what we want and then let it go. I had that happen today. I was going to meet my cousin and a friend for her birthday on Thursday, and we couldn't get the right time and the right theater. And so we were going to do something that would work, but it wasn't as good. It was more expensive. And then I just let it go. So that'll be fine. And then this afternoon I looked and it was like, oh, wow, now it's showing at the right theater at the perfect time. And it's even 30% discount for just that one showing. So instead of $14, it'd be like $5. It's like, yep, see, all we have to do is remember, ask for what we want, get in the vortex, let it go, and then just see how it shows up. So that was kind of a fun.
Okay, I do have a question, or rather, I wanted to hear your guys' opinions about what Elena was saying. So I'm confused, I guess I should say, when I should ask and let it go, or when I should hold that consistent thought. For example, I want something, right? So I'll have like a vision board, or I'll do visualization processes. But then it's really hard to let go and let the universe take care of it if you're doing that process every day. So when do I just think one time and let it go, or when
Well,
should
I think it's good. I think it's good to pre-pave it, get clear, do whatever process to get yourself in alignment with spirit. And then to me, the analogy is like if you plant a seed and you water it, then you have to let it do its thing, because if you're going to dig it up every day to see if it's growing, it can't do what it needs to do. It needs to germinate. And sometimes we have to allow the universe, it's like we ask, that's step one. And then step two is the universe is automatically going to respond to that. And three is and we need to just allow and receive and surrender. And it's a tricky thing, but that's why it's like a spiritual practice to get to the point where you experience what it would be like to have it and create that vibrational match, so that when you really feel whatever it is, that support that you want or the money that you want or whatever, and you really milk it and you allow it and you feel it and you feel really good and you don't care anymore because you can just, you're not pushing against, then, you know, the universe can come in and surprise and delight us. So it is tricky, but I think it's important to, yeah, go ahead. Step one is finding out what you want and doing the practice. And then for me, I think this art of allowing is really key, because then we can release it to the universe and we receive it instead of trying to force it. It's allowing versus making something happen, creating, you know, co-creating with spirit and not trying to do it ourselves. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Mm,
Well, that
to
makes a lot of
certain
sense.
to certain degree, because you know, yes, I remember that analogy from even from The Secret. But you know, even a seed that you put on the ground, you still have to go there and water, you know, 2-3 times a week, depending on the plant, right? You're
I think
growing.
the part that will answer your question, Aileen, is if you consider the work you're doing when you're getting yourself into that space where you're feeling like it's done. The idea there is get to that place where you're doing the work and you're thinking about it and you're getting to the feeling place. But then if it gets to the point where it feels like work, where it feels like it's not feeling exciting and uplifting, then you're headed the wrong way. Then you're spending too much time on it, and all of a sudden you're no longer holding
Benefiting
the
from the
end of the
process. Yeah.
You're on the
yeah,
opposite
you're
side of the
actually
stick.
exactly, you're focusing on the lack of it. And so when that happens, that's when it's time. You gotta walk away. You can only do this work as long as it feels good. The minute it doesn't, you need to walk away. And that's how you stay on top of this. That's how you allow it. Whatever your attention is on is the vibration that you are emitting, and that's where your point of attraction is. So whatever you're focused on, if it doesn't feel good, walk away.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I like that, Sonia. Our job is to feel good, to be happy, and then we can allow the universe to help us instead of swimming upstream, because that doesn't work. We have to go downstream. We have that momentum. So I like what you said.
Yeah, me too. Okay, and any other thoughts or questions before we move on to the process? All right, so process 2 is the magical creation box. Let me get that pulled up on screen.
Liked in more towards the beginning of this section or this process, when it's talking about clipping out the pictures, clip out the pictures of anything that exemplifies any desires that you hold. I like that. Like, it just has to have like the vibration and the essence of it. It doesn't have to be like, oh, this is a picture of this specific city, so that's where I must end up living. No. Like, if that city makes you feel that good way, exciting way, maybe you'll end up living, you know, somewhere similar, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could, like, there's a billion other examples we could think of like that. Like,
I think it's absolutely beautiful, because I sort of feel like that this process is answers or addresses the question that Alini asked before we got started with it, how we were talking about the, you know, the creation and letting go of it and all of that kind of stuff. I think this is a perfect practice for that. It's
So you
different-
put it in the box and don't look at it again.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah. It's a different, it's sort of a different take on a vision board, but you're putting it in there and knowing that it is, and then you're letting it go. So it actually is exactly practicing what we discussed right before we read it, I think, anyways. I
Mhm.
thought that was really cool.
I've never really done this one. I think I should do it. Like,
I actually am doing it. This is crazy because I have a box that I started last year, and here it is. But I stuffed it with business cards. I'm not gonna lie, so I gotta do it over. But I did write. I don't know if you can see it. Whatever in this box. whatever's contained in this box is. So this is like wow universe, but I like writing. And so I just felt like what she said about writing, like, I don't know, I feel better when I write a script out. So I'm gonna try that approach because cutting stuff out.
Sometimes it's very hard to find a picture of exactly what you
Yeah.
want to visualizing. I started actually for my vision board, I literally go online on Shutterstock and like I can find exact image because it would take forever to do that in magazines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And magazines are not as common anymore. It's not
Yeah,
like
it's
we all
not
have a ton of
anymore.
them laying around like maybe we used to. But I think, I mean, even doing an internet search and printing out a picture, or like you said, writing down whatever that is that feels so good and putting it in there. I think those are all great things. Yes, Leo.
All right, check this out. So many moons ago, the movie The Secret came out.
Yeah.
And someone had said to me, "Hey, you got to check this out." You know, so I'm watching it. I'm like, "Oh, there's actually a name for this." Because I had been doing it. I had learned about all this like 2001, and I didn't know what had a name. Someone just said, I had met a yoga teacher, and she said to me, "Decide what you want and it will show up in your life." It was just 12 words, simple. There was no verbiage to it. That's all it was. And that was my starting place. Well, then The Secret comes out like around 2006. So this is like 2007. I'm like, doing the vision board and I'm cutting all this stuff out. And then I'm like, well, I don't want to like glue this stuff onto like a poster board, because if I change my mind and I want to tweak it, then I'm stuck. Like I'm locked in. So I got instead a board that was a cork board,
That's what
and
I
I would
want.
take little push tacks and I would kind of put those in there, right? And then if I'm like, oh no, I don't want that. I actually want to change it to this, or I want to move those different things into different positions on the board, then I was able to do that. But I thought to myself, there's got to be a way to take this to the next level. So this was around the holidays. Someone had given me a box of chocolates, but the box was a clear plastic box that you could see into. And I thought, oh, I got it, the vision box. So what I would do is I would take items, and instead of having pieces of paper with like two-dimensional representations on a flat piece of paper, I would put three-dimensional items in the box. So I'm like, okay, well, I want a new car. So I got like a little Matchbox car and I put that in there. And I thought, well, I want to go on a vacation. So I put a little bit of sand in there, like, because I'm on the beach. And then I thought, yeah, maybe some more money would be nice. So I put some like spare change in there. So I put physical three-dimensional objects into this vision box, and I would just put it on my desk and I could just look at it, whenever. I could go, oh yeah, there's that. Okay, there's that thing. And I could just take a moment just to kind of remind myself, but without making it an actual like daily ritual. I would just see it and just go. And what happened is over the next several weeks and months, all those things that were in that vision box ended up coming to pass.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So Abraham keeps borrowing my ideas. What are you gonna do?
Well, I think they were going at it in about the 1980s when they started in their living room and this first happened. But the collective is out there, and
Right.
definitely are grabbing on and moving forward with it. I think
Yeah.
that's
So
great.
there you go. Vision box.
Yeah, that is so cool.
So how I just got an idea. Oh, so this is what I want to do next. I want to take it to the next level. So what I want to do is I want to get a 3D printer so I can 3D print stuff, and then I can get it exactly the way I want.
That's
And then I can
awesome.
then I can put that stuff in there.
Yeah.
But I agree with what Sonia said before. If it's not fun and you're not enjoying it, you should probably take a step back, because you're not putting the right energy into it. It should be a joy when you do a vision board or affirmations or a vision box or any of this sort of like quote unquote ritualistic stuff. It should be a joy, Because if it's not, then you're kind of working against yourself a little bit.
Concentrating on the resistance. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you so much for sharing. That's so cool.
You're welcome so much.
Jen?
Yeah, I wanted to just say that my sister, she actually has she it's her like yearly like New Year's Eve or New Year's Day ritual. She like has a box and she'll put like her affirmations and her like goals and her hopes and her dreams and stuff in the box. And she'll do that like the beginning of the year, and then she'll go that following year and see and be like, did any of these things come true? And then she'll be like, yeah, they did. Or if they didn't, then she would put them back in the box and see if it will come true. So it's kind of intriguing that they're talking about this creation box too.
Yeah. Yeah. So many different ways to express this.
Yeah.
Andy, did you have a thought?
I had a thought earlier, which I remembered, which is good because I forgot. But yeah, like idea I had, like maybe making a folder just on my computer. That's the same idea. Just all that stuff goes in there. Like, forget printing.
Yeah.
The photo in there. Maybe they won't have the same hands-on-inness, but that's just an idea that I had.
Yeah.
But
I've done that one. I have a folder on my computer, and that's exactly what I do. And when you are doing like a, I don't know, like if you get stuck on Pinterest, you can go crazy with pictures there, and it's so easy to just download these pictures and put them in this folder. And I'll make the folders specific. So I have a creation box folder, but then within that, I have the house folder. And then so inside that house folder is just all the pictures of all the cool things that I want in my new house, in my next house. And then I also have the money folder, and that's different pictures of luxury items or images that stand for money, for abundance, and so yeah, I do it like that too. I actually do have a box. I have a creation box. It's actually a wooden box. You guys are gonna laugh. It was the box that we used to put my grandmother's ashes in. But it has a sliding cover, and the sliding cover is designed to hold pictures. So I have a bunch of pictures on there, and then in one of them says, as it is said, it is given, or something like that. And I mean, she's not in there anymore. We got rid of her ashes many moons ago. But I got to keep the box when it was all over. So I decided to put it to good use. And that's what it is now. It is my creation box, which I just thought was so poetic, since, it was, yeah. So anyway, I like your idea, Andy. I use it too.
I have another plan as well. I'm going to make my creation box, and the first thing I'm going to put in there is the photo or whatever of a 3D printer, so I can manifest the printer and just go straight to the clear box thing.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because when Leo said that he would put 3D images in there, I thought for sure he was going to say, that he had a 3D printer. My cousin has one, and he makes all kind of cool stuff. He actually made one year for Christmas. This is my logo for my massage business. And so he made me a 3D logo of my little, guy or whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say with the vision box, if you're like me and you want to actually be able to see it, it's kind of nice just to have it on your desk or wherever you want to keep it, but you can reach into the box, take an item out and hold it in your hands, so it becomes more real. So instead of this two-dimensional representation on a flat surface, it's now a three-dimensional object. And since everything is energy and the universe can't tell the difference anyway, if you hold that little Matchbox car in your hand, or whatever that thing is, you're what's the wording I'm looking for here? It's you're tapping into the quantum hologram, because the universe can't tell the difference between the Matchbox car and a real car. So if you hold it in your hand and you feel the feeling of having it, then it has to show up because I don't know, I guess that's the law of attraction and the law of vibration too. But you're tuning your vibration into it by using a physical item to help you get into that space.
Yes.
So if that helps anybody.
So your sand was not loosely in the box, I'm assuming. It was
What?
contained.
What did I do?
I'm sorry, I'm just joking around. I said the sand for your beach vacation that was not
Yeah.
loose in your box. It was contained in a little plastic bag or something. You could pick it up.
No, it was loose in the box. I just left it in there. That way I could take my finger and just like stick it in there and go, okay, my finger's in the sand.
I like it.
And then what ended up happening is I ended up going on a vacation and I was on the beach and I put my finger in the sand and I went, yep, here I am. So it was just kind of like it's like a confirmation for me that I intended it, it manifests. And what you do with that is it kind of like creates bookends, like on a bookshelf, right? So you got the left book end, you got the right book end, right? And then in between that, you have your books. So I set that intention. I put the sand in there. I stuck my finger in it, and I'm like, I'm on the beach. And then when I actually was on the beach, I stuck my finger in the sand again and went, okay, I'm here. So I kind of completed the circle, so to speak. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, but you know what you can do? I was just thinking you can do an experiment where you can do the creation box where you don't see it. You just kind of drop the stuff in there and you let it go. Then you can do another one where you have the vision box where it's like a clear plastic box and you can actually see into it. And then you can like reach in there and grab these 3-dimensional items. You play around with it, see what happens, you know?
Yeah.
Process 2A and 2B.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. Any other thoughts or ideas about this process?
I wanted to share something. It's not exactly what we're talking about, but as you guys are sharing, it occurred to me that these are just tools to help us use our imagination of getting into that state of knowing what we want and experiencing what it would be like to have it and to make it fun. And I just was remembering a funny story from a few years ago when we were practicing the law of attraction. And I was at a mall and I thought, I don't want to spend a lot of money, so I'd like to make it really fun. And I said, I want to find this perfect little white t-shirt at Ann Taylor for $10. And I went, okay, that never happens. But I go there and I find it and I bought it. And I thought, oh, this is great. This is fun. Now what else can I do? And I thought, okay, I'm going to challenge myself. I want to go to Starbucks and get something on sale. It never happens. So I go to Starbucks in Cherry Creek Mall. And this is the first and only time I've ever seen this. They had a big sign and said, oh, and I wanted it to be really fun. And I was kind of getting into when I was like 12 years old, something that would be just really fun and creative. And they had a big sign and they said, if you use this ukulele and you sing your order, we'll evaluate how we think you did and you'll get that percentage of discount. So
Oh my.
I used to play a ukulele when I was 12 years old. So I said, okay. And they said, you're the only one that's taken us up on this today, you know. So I sang my order and I had the grand finish and I got like a good, I don't even remember the discount, it was at least 50% off. And I thought, see, that is it. We got to make it fun because, man, you know, just having a Starbucks, okay, that's fine. But making it like, oh, wow, the best Starbucks order and the most fun I could have and make it a challenge. Well, that was really great. So I'm like, okay, these are the tools that help us not just have the material thing or whatever it is, but what would be really fun about it? You know, what would be fun about having a beach vacation, or what would be really fun to manifest? Like Esther would go for the blue feather and the blue bottle or whatever, a feather and a blue bottle or whatever it is, and just kind of use those muscles, practice those muscles. And I've had the experience of having a vision board and getting what was on it, even though it just was kind of almost outside of my reality, just in terms of it was a totally different lifestyle than what I was experiencing. So, yep, I think these are all really, really good ideas. Everybody's had some really creative ideas of how to do this process. So, thank you.
Yeah, and I think for myself, as I've been sharing, you know, the heaviness that's been coming about, I think this is a great opportunity for me to be reminded of the joy and to feel into that a little bit. And so I am super happy that this is how our meeting went and that this is the process we get to do over the next couple of weeks. And I look forward to hearing how everybody does and how the creativity flows with the boxes or folders or however you decide to do it, 3D pictures or whatever. And any other thoughts or anything you would like to share before we close for the evening?
Nope, just thank you. It was a really good meeting.
Yes, absolutely. This was a very good meeting. I think I needed it so much. And I'm so glad that we had
Can
such
you just remind me what you're supposed to write in the inside of the box?
oh, whatever is inside this box is. Whatever is in this box is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful night.
Thanks.
You too.
We'll see you in
Bye-bye.
2 weeks. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Thanks everyone. See you later.